Hello, everyone, and welcome to my weekly meltdowns coverage of Survivor 43. We're going into season 43. This is our draft and cast analysis. With me, as always, is Tyler, who is old as hell, and Beth. How is everyone doing this evening? I just want to, real quick,
Also old as hell.
before we get started and just ganging up on Tyler's old bag ass, I just want to say hello to everyone in the chat. Dolores, Heather Jean, Kylan. Let's see who else is in here. That's it. Okay.
And that's it for right now.
That's it right now. Yes. Welcome. First draft. Okay. First draft for some. I got you. Dolores is just going to pick Owen. So we got a lot to cover and not a lot of time to cover it in. I'm just going to say this year I went a new route with picking my draft picks. I just went off pet peeves.
I love that.
That's all I did. I feel like if we have the same pet peeves.
Allison, what is your pet peeve?
You.
Besides me, that goes without saying.
God, people who sit next to me and watch effing TikTok videos on full blast while I'm trying to watch TV. Captain Obvious, my husband, I hope you're watching. It isn't. He's off this week before he goes out of town again for a long stretch, and literally is on TikTok all of the time. And also, TikTok now has an app for the smart TV. You know, if you have like Prime or whatever you've got.
I thought you were going to say it has an app on your phone. I was like, that's how it started.
There's an app on your telephones and on your televisions.
Go to TikTok.com.
Go to TikTok.com for more informations in the .com, the www.com. But anyway, yeah, now he watches it in the guest room sometimes, and it's like he doesn't even really watch TV anymore. He just watches. Now he's on this kick of the world's going to end because some German guy said so this Saturday, September 24th. I don't know if any of you have heard that.
It's going to end this
Saturday? This Saturday it's going to, he said that the German guy said it's going to get really hot in the West. The ground will melt. We're probably going to get nuked on Saturday. So we might as well just go ahead and do the draft now.
Might as well. And I'm going to put this out here. Tyler and I have actually discussed this over dinner before. Should there ever be an apocalypse?
Yeah.
I want to die in it. I don't want to try to survive or whatever. And Tyler's all about that survivor life. He wants
hell to the no. I want to die immediately. I don't want to feel it. I don't want to know it. I want my family to die. I want all my family and friends. I want us all to die quickly. And the only people to be alive are the people that I effing hate. They can stay alive.
That's the hell. That's hell right there.
Yeah, just you freaking stay and deal with it.
That's why Tyler.
My cats die with me.
My toxic trait is thinking that I could turn into a really good leader that has to make some very morally ambiguous choices in a post-apocalyptic world. And I don't know. I think about that a lot. I also think about what I would answer for the pet peeves question for Survivor quite often. And I have to say, I think my ultimate answer is when you go out of your way to hold the door for somebody and bitches don't say thank you.
Oh,
because I am that person that goes, "You're welcome," and then they like look back at you like, "Eh." And I'm like, "Well, you should have said thank you. I'm not here to serve you."
Courtesy.
My husband will let the door shut on them. He'll just let the door. It's like, okay, he lets it, and sometimes it hits him in the back.
What about you, Beth? What's your pet peeve?
Well, this isn't a pet peeve. This is what I'm sure causes a pet peeve. And I feel like this has become much more of a daily occurrence for me since I live in New York City with an elevator. But I will shut that door as quickly as I get in there. I don't even care if you're going, hold the door. Nope, close. Bitch, I'm in here. I want to go.
I'm not even looking. Yeah. I'm not even looking at who? Is somebody coming?
So yeah, exactly. What? Now,
what? I'm not even looking.
Probably somebody else's. Also purely New York City-esque. I hate, this isn't purely New York City, but it's very abundant. I hate when people don't walk correctly on a sidewalk. Like if they're like like it is the same rules of passing, and if you need to pull over, go towards a shop. Don't just stop in the middle of the sidewalk. Or like, and it happens all the time in Manhattan because you've got people who are going, wow, look at that building. And you're like, shut up. I'm trying to move. And you're taking up all this space, you and your 5 people. Also, if you are walking multiple people, be aware that you are not the only people on the friggin' sidewalk.
That
if
is
you are
so
walking
true.
side by side with somebody, I hate when you are walking at such a slow pace and nobody can get around you. Bitch, get single file for a second. It's not a big deal. You can still hear each other. Anyway, that's my pet peeve.
You're gonna have to teach
I
me the
agree.
ways when I'm there because I have no idea. I'm kind of like it's like driving. It's like you can pull over to the right if you're gonna go slow and let everyone in the left go. I mean, it's
we'll give you a crash course on night
obvious.
1 of like common courtesy things that are like weird to New York City, like staying on the right when you're going up an escalator, for instance. That's a big one.
Because people want to walk up the escalator, so don't stand in a way that they can not get up, because then you're gonna hear move, like, and you're gonna go, geez.
I can't wait for y'all to have me on that retractable toddler leash, telling me no, come back over here.
We should find one.
Seriously, because I'm terrible at wandering off.
I have a leash for Sora. We can just use that for Allison.
You know, Tyler often has things for Sora that I'm pretty sure. He's got
Tyler,
a toy that is very sus.
It does look like anal beads, not gonna lie, but it's one of her favorite toys, and it's only for her, I promise.
I would hope so, because I've seen it in person, and that is not something sanitary to put inside your box.
They sell it at Petco. I can find the SKU.
Yeah, you find
Jesus, he's so dedicated to it's not his. Look, I'll find the SKU right now. I'm pulling it up.
I'll find it for you. Don't worry about it. I have an extra one in my bed drawer. I mean, no.
What? In my bed? What? No.
There's a spare in the sock drawer. It's fine. Oh, I mean,
Why is it always the sock drawer that's the whore drawer?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
You're not fooling anyone. I don't know what anybody who has a full drawer that's only dedicated to socks.
I do, and I can actually take you in there right now and show you. It's just socks.
Ironically, I don't think I have anything in my sock drawer except for socks and underwear.
Yeah. Well, I'll be the first to say I have things in my sock drawer, so
I will not be going through anyone's drawers when I'm in New York City. Hello to Hunter Sutherland and Joseph Boza in the chat, and Doc Chunk, people who are joining us. Hello, everyone. Yes, the pet peeves is what we're talking about, and apocalypses, and a lot of things that go into being, hello, round circle, a survivor.
Oh,
as we come into that round. I hope everyone just heard my husband fart on the outside of my office door.
I did not,
but thank you for announcing it. So because I am the reigning draft king from picking Marianne last season, and Beth, you haven't been on air for me to brag about the results of the Big Brother draft this year.
Good God.
Brittany is being evicted on Thursday, and I will have the final 3 as my first 3 picks in the draft. So looks like I'm winning another season here. So I'm on a roll. Feeling good about it. Just had to brag to you since I haven't.
That is really impressive.
Beth, you're the only person who cares.
And Allison's like, Tyler looks at spoilers. First of all, there were no like solid spoilers for Survivor last year, and also
I thought you meant for Big Brother. I was like, Allison.
Oh, even I know there are spoilers for Big Brother.
Plays out in real time.
Come on.
All right. So with that being said, I got to pick the draft order, and so I went ahead and switched it up a bit. Allison was first last year, so I'm gonna give last season. It feels like last year, even though it was over like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have Beth go first, and then Allison, and then myself, and we're doing this snake style. So I will then go again, and then Allison, and then Beth gets 2 picks, and so on and so forth.
Great.
Okay?
Now, I also, before we get going, want to say that I did put together our draft for the patrons, and we will discuss that at the end of the show. We do have 3 participants of our patron group who have decided to enter their hats into the ring. And so I was able to put that together, and I think they all have really Okay, I say this as someone who I'm literally going off of what is on the Survivor wiki, because I'm doing this new kick where I don't want to look at any bios. I don't want to look at anything beforehand. I just want to see if I can go off of vibes. We did big BB Can 10. I went off a zodiac sign and I did okay. But I just want to go off of vibes I get when I look at this photo and their age and their job. And that's it. That's all I'm doing. So when I look at all their patron teams, I thought they looked pretty balanced, because at this point, everyone's balanced for me.
I mean, overall, it's a very good looking cast. Not good looking, but like good as in like, I think this is going to be a really interesting season. Lots of different personalities and stuff like that. So I think no matter like how the draft teams shake out, there's going to be like people that will do very well and will crash and burn in all of our teams, I think. And that's the beauty of Survivor. You just never know where it's going to go.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay. So my first pick is going to go purely off of love the aura that we've got from her and the fact that she is a clinical psychologist. I'm going to go to Ellie. I am a big sucker for people who understand people, who understand. Also, her name's really Elizabeth. And so I see you, girl. I'm a fellow Elizabeth, but I go by Beth. Unique nicknames. I don't know. It's not really that unique. Beth isn't, but I don't know. I get a good sense out of her. She looks, just from a photo, she looks like she's somebody who, just has a warm presence about her, but isn't like so over the top that it's like distracting, like, or anything like that. I think she can go pretty far in this game. Again, going back to the psychologist thing, you think about people like Denise or even Tori from last season, and people who have that clinical psychology background, who are actively thinking about what can they be doing to get either in other people's heads or better understand those people. And so for that, I'm going to put Ellie as my number one choice.
And could it have maybe been the karaoke at dive bars?
Maybe. I haven't read any bios. She does that?
Yes, she does. That's one of her hobbies.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Okay. Well, we need to ask her what her number one karaoke song is. That's going to tell a lot about how she'll do in Survivor and just who she is as a person.
And I want to say the only reason why I knew her name was Elizabeth was because a patron, when they wrote their list out, put Elizabeth down. And I was like, I have no idea who this is. And then I saw the only other name they didn't put was Ellie. And I went, oh. But anyway, I seem to have a soul sister here. So yes, she's been number one.
So Beth, this was actually my first pick as well. So great choice here. I'm so glad that you brought up like the Denise comparison, because like a lot of her interview was like, as like a psychologist, I get people comfortable with sharing their trauma with me right away. And I think that translates really well to getting people on your good side and getting people in. And also she just has a really positive outlook about like the experience of Survivor. She says that it's a vessel for growth and transformation, which I think is like a really cool way to look at something like Survivor. So I think this is an excellent first pick. What do you think, Allison?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. She might make it to the merge.
Oh,
okay.
Because here's the thing. Can I? And I like, but I'm just saying, people who say I'm a clinical psychologist, I know how to deal with people. I can do the. I know, but then they get out there and they're with it. Look, school is not going to prepare you for this kind of crazy. So it's like, okay, this is new. This is new to me. I don't, so it's, I've been with psychiatrists and therapists who have flat out told me, I'm in therapy because I'm a therapist, and, my family's just as bad as yours, so, it could mean a lot of things, but sometimes, you go the clinical, it doesn't exactly mean that you're going to be able to handle what you're going in for.
I think that's a fair point. If you go in saying and setting yourself up with that bar and like wearing that as like I'm a psychologist or a therapist or whatever, blah, 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 then you're taking the egotistical route of it. But if you use that as a back pocket skill set and people reading and without having to be braggadocious about it, I think that's the key difference there.
And I'm not saying she's not a good pick. I'm saying that it's just I'm just kind of going off my 22 years of experience of watching the show. It's just that always seems to be a thing. And I'm a clinical psychologist. I'm experienced with dealing with people, and I'm interested to see if my experience can be utilized on the island, and it may not. That I'm dying for someone to say that, and they've yet to say it. And DM Rocks in the chat says, I'm a psychology major in college. Well, that's freaking awesome. I love that. That's great. But yes, I think that's I'm curious. I'm just curious. I always watch these psychology majors and stuff. That's just me.
I also want to give a shout out to our patron, Kylan, who says that he's watching his first Survivor season. This year. So I would love to hear like somebody who has never seen Survivor before, what they think about the season. So keep us updated with your thoughts.
Kylan, in chat, if you would like us to do a 30-second overview of the structure of the show, we could do that very quickly. But you let us know if you'd like that. And if not, if you just want to go in kind of, blind to this, that's totally fine too.
Yep. All right. So Allison, go ahead and give us your first pick.
Well, my picks are based off pet peeves and just judging people. Because that's what I do best. Owen Knight is mine. He's 30 from Bethesda, Maryland. And his pet peeves, people who are entitled and people who don't know what that do at a four-way stop. And let me tell you something, honey. It's not rocket science. Pay freaking attention when you get to the four-way. So you're looking around. You're trained to do it. And don't be trying to go first if you're the last MFer to stop. I hate that. Don't honk at me. Don't wave at me and tell me to go. I know when it's my turn. And I'm going to go when I'm ready. Okay? So don't even play that with me. And yeah. So anyway, I like his look. I like, he just, who's that other guy that won? That's
Yule?
Yule. Yes, he reminds me of Yule as well. So I don't know. He's an admissions director. Isn't that what you do, Beth?
I used to do that. That's as soon as I looked at him and I saw his name and I saw college admissions director next to me, I went, did I? Because he's a few years younger than me. Did I overlap with him at all? Like in a travel season somewhere? Now I've gone and I looked at my social medias and I don't see any of my college admissions companions overlapping with him. So I guess not, but it would be kind of cool. I mean, you meet so many admissions people on the road. And the fact that he's an admissions director means that he's in a managerial role. So, I mean, believe me, a college admissions counselor and an admissions director, people do not know how draining that job is.
That's one thing that I remember you telling me, and that's why, because I'm like, he can deal with it. Kids who don't know what they want. It's just they flake. Don't they flake on you a lot?
There's flaking, but you have to deal with. No one is ever happy with admissions. Yeah, you could bring in the best, smartest class of all time, and people will go, "But where's the money?" And you go, "Great." And then you go, and the next year you recruit more full pay students, and they go, "Well, that's great, but where's the diversity?" And then you go, "Okay." And then you go out and you get the most diverse class of all time, and they go, "Well, that's great, but where were the?" There's just you never win with the people on campus. Then you never win with the people that you're working with because you're dealing with high schoolers, 17, 18-year-olds, 16-year-olds. And then you're dealing mostly with their parents, which are the worst part of it because the parents, instead of allowing their child to ask questions and give them that autonomy, we've moved past helicopter parents. We now have what we deem snowplow parents. They just plow into the conversation. They don't hover anymore. They just plow their way in. So admissions people, they have to deal with all those different personalities, all those different kinds of goals. They also have to deal with an incredibly competitive landscape right now, on top of the fact that the college bubble is probably going to burst at some point. And then you're dealing with 10 to 12 weeks of travel nonstop in the fall, nonstop reading of applications for 4 months in the winter. And then the spring, you get to try to make your class with the seniors. and while also trying to get the juniors interested in your school for the next travel season. And then you get 1 month of vacation essentially, and then data analytics, and then go on the road again. So it's a really demanding job, and you have to be personable. You have to be able to calculate. You have to be able to sell. It's a sales job at the end of the day. So
Yep.
I think that's a great pick.
This was actually my second pick.
Tyler
and,
is
Good.
upset
and,
that he has to go third now.
So Owen and Ellie, I think, so they're on the same starting tribe, I believe, and I think that they're going to be a really strong pair because I think they are both very level-headed strategists. I believe Owen is an RHAP patron as well, and I just get really good vibes from him. He did talk about wanting, like, he compared himself to like Malcolm and Wu, so that worries me that he's going to be like playing just a little too based on like physical comp wins and stuff. That's my only concern, but I think he's a really great, solid first pick, Allison.
Of course. Don't I win almost every year?
Well, I've been on the winning train lately, so
yeah, once, but
so
no big.
So my first pick is my other 10. I gave them like a scores out of 10. So this is my third 10 out of 10 pick, and she was third in my like ranking between those 10s. But I'm gonna go with Justine for my first pick. First of all, she not in this picture. She looks a little too tan, but like her look reminds me of Amy Jo Johnson from Power Rangers. And she will always be like one of my favorite people. But no, I love how like her whole thing is she's very successful in a male-dominated world at work. She's in security sales. And she really wants to hide her physical levels, her physical abilities by just coming off as like the pretty girl, like not like this like G.I. Jane like undercover. And she wants to hide it until like pretty late in the merge and then just go on like a run that like nobody would expect. I'm kind of getting like Kim Spradlin energy from her. Like I really don't have like any bad things to say. I think she's charismatic enough to control everybody in a really fluid, easy way, like Kim did. So that's my first pick. What do you guys think about Justine?
Based off of what I'm seeing, I mean, I think she has a nice smile and seems warm, but there's also not a warmth. Like there's not a warm aura to her. She smiles and presents that, which could either be really great. Maybe that's a very cunning thing. Maybe she's really good at like putting on a front and that other people like that. Or it could be really bad for her. It could come across as like a fakeness or something. But again, remember that my perspective is coming off of a photo and like 3 pieces of information, which are like their name, age, location, and like their job. So yeah. I have no basis.
Allison, what do you think?
I don't know. I mean, she's just boring. I mean, her hobbies are cooking, golfing. Look, oil painting is fine, but cooking and golfing?
You have to watch her video interviews.
That's nothing
like
for me.
I mean, like that energy might not translate to like a text read interview, but like her energy in like the video interviews and stuff just really impressed me. So I don't know. Well, we'll see how she does. But you know, the first pick doesn't have to be the winner. I think Marianne was my second pick. So we'll see. But so I'm gonna go ahead and make my next pick. Okay. And my next pick is I'm like trying to find his name. My second pick is James.
Okay.
James Jones, a name I can pronounce.
Yes. So James is 37. He's an event planner. I work in events as a wedding photographer, and I know how much like shit can be thrown at you, and you just have to like kind of deal with it and figure out solutions, make everybody happy, make everybody on your side and smiling and stuff. He's from Philly, and there's a lot of people from Pennsylvania this season, so I think that could be like a good way to like have that initial connection with somebody. But his background really impressed me. So he's won like global chess competitions from like a very early age on. And he talked about being the only Black person in the room and how he's used to being a fish out of water. And he also said, I love that he said chess has taught him that it's not about the move, but it's about timing and catching somebody off guard. And in a season of so many people saying like they're ready to cause drama, they're ready to play hard, too hard. I like this like waiting, and it's all about timing and catching them off guard type of mentality. So I think he's going to be a really great strategist. I think he's a pretty like easygoing personality as well. I don't see him being in any of the drama that people want to start the season. So I like James a lot.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think about James?
I think he gives good energy from his picture. I like that. I agree with what you're saying about being an event planner. That means you really have to not only anticipate, you have to be able to anticipate a variety of different outcomes and be able to plan for those to happen. And I think that that's going to be very helpful in the game like Survivor. I think he's a good pick.
That's a good pick. I agree. He doesn't like really bad customer service or pushy salespeople. I think that that might be a problem on Survivor because people do tend to lose their shit and snap and become pushy. And they do end up becoming the pushy salesman or the bad customer service rep. And you've got to learn how to deal with these a-holes because everybody's hungry, they're cold, they're wet, they feel terrible, and they end up turning into the thing that they hate the most. So hopefully he will be able to deal with that. I feel like he's going to be looking into the eye of the storm when it comes to his pet peeves.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, Allison, go ahead and give us your next pick.
Okay, let me find him real quick. Okay, my next pick is Cody Assenmaker.
All right.
Am I saying his last name right? Is it Assenmaker, Assenmacher? I don't know.
I imagine it might be Mocker, but I'm not 100% sure.
Assenmacher.
I think that he could make an ass of himself on this season.
I'm pretty sure of it too. I like his pet peeves, lazy people, social media addicts, but clipping nails in a public location is the nastiest thing. Besides picking your nose and your teeth and everything else. Ew. Why are you doing that? One thing I look forward to on Sunday is Allison messing up. Yeah, listen, don't even get me started. I freaking sent them some names and I was like, holy shit, I'm not going to make it tonight. I don't know what's going to happen because I don't know. They need pronunciation keys with these things for Southern people like me. I don't know. I just liked his pet peeves. Let's see. Who is your hero and why? I don't know who Devin Yadov is. It's his best friend his best friend that passed away from cancer in high school. I'm a dick. Okay. He really loves him. Who are you most like in the game of Malcolm? Who's like Malcolm? What?
Okay, I'm a dick. Moving on.
Well, I'm not going to harp on it.
I will. That was great.
I mean, we could go further. Several of his bottom teeth are fake. I'm all about some dentures flying out on the island. That's a first. I mean, how's that going to work? How sanitary is that going to be?
It'll be like, oh, what's her name? Dawn, with her teeth coming out and Brenda has to.
He has to pull them out during final tribal council.
I mean, what is he going to do? What if he's in the middle of an altercation with someone and he's yelling and his fucking bottom teeth fly out?
Well, you'd have to be like doing some weird shit with your tongue for that to happen because I feel like you got to push them out with your tongue.
Well, my mom has been talking to me before and her top dentures have slipped and I just lost my mind. So I'm just an insensitive dick, apparently.
I have to say, so Cody tells, like, when I look at him, he looks like he wants to be the Malcolm, Joe, Jonathan, Aussie kind of person, but I
Mhm.
feel like it's the wish.com version, so I don't get the confident aura or like the laid back like surfer dude aura of like the Aussie. I don't get the like intensity of Jonathan, those kind of things. It just seems like, and this could be very, very unfair of me. I don't know. But if that's the archetype that he's being cast for, ugh.
This is my favorite when he's talking about the past survivor and all these. He says, the ability to say this real fast, without your dentures flying out, the ability to sit back and sometimes play the role of a fool to fool the fool who thinks they're fooling you is critical in competing in this game.
I mean, that's kind of what Jonathan did at the end of season 42, which I think he's not wrong there.
Yeah.
But you also have to know if you're the fool for that to happen. So, yeah, I don't know. He's somebody that I could see definitely make merge. I think that guys like him tend to make the merge. I could see him get to like Final 5 or something like that, but I don't see him going all the way.
I think he could be the first boot. Like, he reminds me of Ronnie from like the first boot of Island of the Idols, season 39. I think he was like a gambler or something. But I don't know. I just like, I don't love like him saying like he's an adaptable person because he moved to Hawaii and embraced their culture. It just feels a little like gentrification type of nonsense to me. So I don't know. I just like I don't get like good. I don't see a good survivor player in him. I think his time will be short on the islands. But all right. So Beth, go ahead and give us your second pick.
Okay, so my second pick, I'm kind of torn, but I think, I get to do 2 back-to-back, so let me... All right, I'm going to go for someone who I think has an intense energy, but one that I think could be really beneficial. And so, in terms of intense energy, I'm going for somebody who I think has confidence, is definitely looks like they're going to be social, looks like they're going to know their like worth both within the game and outside of it. And that's Janine. I don't say intense in the sense that like, I don't think she looks like like somebody who's mean or anything like that, or a bitch or anything like that. But she gives me this kind of like intense confidence in her, in just like her face. And so I kind of like that. It reminds me a lot of like so many of the women that we loved last season. And so I want to help continue that trend. And so I'm going with Janine here.
I had really good vibes from Janine. She was my next pick, actually. I loved her energy in like the video interviews. She talks about like Asian women being typecasted as intellectuals, and she wants to break away from that and play like a really baller, like sunshiny, like full of energy social game. She's like, I'm a UX designer. I'm more of a creative. Like, I'm more fun and out there than you would expect. She's a first generation immigrant as well, which I think is a cool like backstory too. So I think this is a really good pick. Allison, what do you think?
Just as like the knowing that she's also first generation, and I mean, thinking about the adaptability you have to do that and be social in a way that most other people who aren't first generation to this country are. Yeah. Like that's even more of a tick in her favor. So
what do you think, Allison?
Okay, I couldn't disagree more. The two of you. Her bio reads like this is a freaking Tinder, a dating app. I don't know what. When shit's in parenthesis to briefly describe something that's your favorite hobby. And I've got a paragraph in parenthesis after backpacking. Bitch, we know what backpacking is. Bonus point. Backpacking is one of my favorite. Backpacking. Bonus points if it leads to sleeping under the stars. Photography and running. I mean, it was just kind of, and then, you get in 3 words that describe you. Again, with the parentheses. Green. in parentheses, both in that I absorb all new experiences / information around me and environmentally conscious, empathetic, and witty. I mean, it's just kind of like your pet peeves. Being mansplained to, people on their phones while hanging out. Is this Love Island? Is this it? Did she fill this out for Love Island? And then they were like, you know what? We think you'd be great for Survivor.
I could see, you know what, though? The way that you're describing this, I had similar thoughts about Marianne last season with the way that that was presented. It was a lot of energy, and I can sense the energy come from her. For me, though, it doesn't come across as like a bubbly energy from this photo or anything. It comes across as like I know how to be social and I'm confident in doing so. That's what it comes across to me. So I can't wait to see what she does. Maybe, I don't know, maybe she'll flame out really early.
What's an UX designer? What is that?
UX, like user interface. Like, so how like our StreamYard is designed, like where the buttons are, how they look, like everything like that. She's the one that designs the look for that. UX design is really fascinating. I could talk about that all day.
Do these people spend a lot of time alone?
I imagine they have to be much more collaborative than somebody who's literally putting in the coding and the engineering behind, because what they're doing is saying, based off of what I know you can do with software, these are like, we need to have a mute button, stop can, all these kind of things down here at the bottom. We're going to have this layout here. She has to be thinking about accessibility. She has to be thinking about all these different kinds of things in order to make the user experience seamless.
Putting herself in like the user's shoes and understanding how they would like navigate the website and how that kind of impacts decisions about like design and stuff. It's really cool. I could talk about that.
You kind of have to know a lot about how people are going to use things. Again, understanding like people.
She's gonna give me the who farted face when I put a can in the trash and not the recycle bin.
Well, when you come to New York City, it's single stream recycling. So,
okay, I'm just saying.
All right. So, Beth, go ahead and give us your third pick.
Okay, I'm gonna go for somebody who I think is intense in a not bubbly kind of way, based off a photo alone, but is intense in like a fuck yeah, I want to see you go, and that's Carla. Carla gives me like this like intense energy where she's just like, who am I thinking of from Survivor 42 she was really, really strong and like had kind of this like stoic face. It was
Jeannie?
I don't know. Literally, I'm blanking on names and such right now. I'm so sorry.
While you're looking that up,
Drea. She gives me a lot of Drea vibes.
Okay.
In terms of like how this photo is, if somebody who knows, you know, like she knows what she brings to the table. She knows what wants to get done. She wants to do. Yes, thank you, Doc, in the chat as well. Yes, Drea was exactly what I'm going.
Not Jason Derulo.
Jason Derulo. No.
Sorry.
I think that she's going to be somebody who will speak plainly, and that is either going to get her out early or she'll go very far. I don't see her being in the middle. I feel like she's a 50-50 person. Like she goes out in the first 3 or she makes it to like final 4. Like that's how I feel about her. Just based off of a photo.
No. So
is brunching a hobby though? I'm confused.
Brunch?
Is brunching a hobby?
Yeah.
Lifestyle in New York.
It's a lifestyle.
Okay, I'm from the South. Okay, because it's different here. I've never heard anyone say, "Oh, one of my hobbies is brunching."
It's because you got to know, A, where you're going, B, how many, like when you do a brunch, you have to, it's not like any other meal. You have to have a minimum of like 3 or 4 different drinks in front of you at any given moment. You have to have your water, but then you have to have like your mimosa, Bellini, whatever. You have to have your coffee. And then sometimes it's like an additional, like, you know what, let's go for this one as well. Like it's crazy. So that's just the drinks. And then you're going, okay, who wants to share a delightful table waffle? And then on top of all the things that I'm going to get, like it's a thing. It's a thing.
Okay.
You know what?
I'm in for it.
I have a hot take here about Carla.
Oh
If
shit.
she has a strategic bone in her body, which I hope she does, I get Sandra Diaz Twine energy from her. Like
Just
she
the
has like
attitude in her
very
face.
like yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
she talks about like growing up poor, having to cheat and steal to get by, and being okay with it. Says she
Yeah.
wants to start drama around camp. So if she's like going in there with the intention of doing that,
It's
I hope that
amazing because that's the kind of shit I figured that I figured she was going to be somebody who was like, bitch, there's not enough drama. I got to make some happen. Like, I didn't want to say that, but like, if
Yeah.
she's saying that, then that's exactly the vibe I get from her from this photo. And
yeah, I could see her totally like her first confessional, just like Sandra, being like, "I'll lie and cheat for $1 million. I don't care, but I'll make up a good lie." Like that's what I want to hear from Carla is like Sandra Diaz Twine energy. She doesn't need to like win any comms. She's just like very under the radar. Like, I got you. We're good. Very like tough broad, like loyal soldier type of energy. Hopefully. But I'm saying hopefully, because like this could easily go wrong, and like she could very easily be a first boot, especially in like a tribe of only 6 starting out.
I love Rory's comment. The strategic bone is next to the temporal mandibular joint.
The fuck are you saying?
That I know that you got temporal mandibular joint like from like Katya saying that. My God.
Hey, look.
Go on.
I don't know what
She said she's like Siri Fields, and I love Siri, so I kind of like that. I think she's a good choice. I like that she's adaptable. I like that she has life experience. That is one thing that we need. People who have grit, who have honest to God grit. Look, I'm not talking about everyone in this room, but there are some millennials and some Gen Xers, I will say, who don't know what grit and grinding means. They get handed shit. You live in a world with instant gratification with the internet. I had to go to the library. I had to look things up in the dictionary and a thesaurus. Okay, I had to actually read books to do a fucking book report. I couldn't Google it. So to see people really have to do stuff to get by in life, I'm all for it. There you go.
Also, if you're from Newark, Delaware, you're tough. That is a rough city.
Is it?
It's a rough city.
She ain't gonna take shit from people, and she'll do it in a good way because she's a professional.
Am I wrong, Tyler? You're from Maryland. You're like a state
no,
over.
it's like Delaware in general, like the cities there are really run down. But Newark is like not good at all. So I'm sure she's like seen some shit.
I have to say this, and I apologize to the people of Delaware, but Delaware, first state, worst state. I think it's one of the worst states because you drive down like the one highway they have. The only thing good about it is like there's no sales tax.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
That's like the nicest thing about Delaware.
You can go to the mall and then leave.
Yeah, and then go back over. But anyway, so.
All right, Allison, go ahead and give us your third pick here.
Well, my third pick is Mr. Jesse Lopez.
I knew you would pick him.
And tell me why.
I don't know. I would like when I was going through the bios, I was like, Allison is going to pick this person. Watch.
Well, first of all, he just it looks like he's a little dude. Okay, I gotta respect the what?
The short king.
Yeah, and I'm little. I'm 4'11", so I can respect the little game. He also looks like he's a badass. Doesn't look like he has what we call, I don't know if you guys have this little man syndrome, where you're just an asshole because you're a short guy and you got to work out a lot and your body is shaped like a V and you're just funny looking. That's not him at all. He seems like a nice guy. Pet peeves, quitters. People who complain about things but aren't willing to change. God bless America. And personalized license plates. Girl, I live in Memphis. They are everywhere. They don't make damn sense. My husband's license plate is not 603. And do you know what that means?
Wow.
NOT 603. That is the police code for not crazy.
Okay.
If you have a 603, you are crazy. So 603 means crazy. Anyway, yeah, that's the only one I like. Let's see what else. Three-water sister, aware, ambitious, unbreakable. His hobbies: playing chess with his son. That's good. Dancing with my daughter. I dig it. Binge watching shows with my wife after chess and dancing with his kids. That's great. I really like that. I just like him. He's a good guy. They look like a little badass in his picture. Let's see. He's super smart. He's got a political science PhD. I don't really know what that is a whole lot. What is a PhD in political science? Is that like, politics?
Yeah, political science would be like looking at politics as a system as a whole, and looking at like the theories and the factors of it that maybe sway people one way or another. What are the factors that happen in any given country? The fact he has a PhD, like, that's no joke.
Yeah,
A PhD is hard.
And I'm not judging a book by its cover, but kind of am. I wouldn't look at this guy. I'm just being completely honest. If I were on and think this guy had a PhD, okay, and I'm not being like, I just wouldn't think it because he looks badass. He's got the tattoos. I wouldn't think that. Okay, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, when people look at me, do you think she's an accountant?
I don't.
Thank you. So see,
I think she's a model.
of course.
Oh,
yes.
man, look at her
Yes.
pose. She's great.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Anyway, but yeah, I like him. And the only thing I was kind of like, he's like, which past survival? See, I can't even read.
Survivor.
Which past survivor will you play the game most like? And he answers, I'm basically Spencer or Christian from David versus Goliath if they got jumped into a gang at 15. How sporadic. If they got jumped in a gang at 15? Why?
Speaking of somebody who needs some struggles to overcome in his life, Spencer.
Why?
I just so for this guy, I just don't see people voting for him to win the season. I don't think his social game is going to be there. Like he's a very tough exterior. Like I think he'll do okay in Survivor. He kind of reminds me of like Jason from Survivor Go Wrong. Like
Jason
that's kind of like
Derulo.
Jason Derulo. But no, I don't think this guy's going to be like a great player. I don't know.
So aura wise, he gives me middle of the pack. I think that he's somebody that would be hardworking around camp. I think he's somebody who, has an intensity about him that I think is something that people at first will be nervous of, but not in a sense of let's vote him out, but like in a I'm afraid to go against him kind of way. But now knowing all the things that Allison's saying, like I could see him using that to his advantage. Like you don't get that far in an educational program without knowing. I mean, just putting it out there, education, especially higher education, is still riddled with racism and such. So you don't make it that far and not get a PhD and not be aware of how people would look at you and think, probably don't belong here in school or whatever, right? And I think that he's smart enough to use that to his advantage now that I'm hearing about that. So I really think that he could be a good contender. And I think that as long as he knows how to use everything that he's got to his advantage and like how people are perceiving, the cross arms and intense looks, that kind of thing, then I think he's got it. But if he can't read into that, that'll be the downfall. I'm going to call that now.
All right,
Tyler, what's your third pick?
I'm going to go ahead and give my third pick here. So my third pick is Ryan.
I knew it was going to be Ryan because I kept seeing Ryan flicker there, and I was like, he's getting prepared for his two picks.
Well, no, I kept like forgetting the name, so I'm like, I just need like a visual to remind me, just so I make sure I'm not like wasting like dead airtime. But no, I think he is like a new generation of masculine that's not toxic, if that
Mm.
makes any sense. Like he has like a smile that is very, not just in this picture, but like in like video interviews and stuff too. That's very charming. That's very friendly. He's a personal trainer, so like he's of course like used to like connecting with people, like making them like bettering their lives and stuff, like yada yada yada. But like just the way that like his energy, like he is like very physically capable in this game without being like a Jonathan last season, if that makes any sense. Allison, he kind of reminds me of Corey Wharton from the challenge, if that makes any sense. So I don't know. I just I get good vibes from him. I don't think he's gonna be like a strategic mastermind or anything. Like if he does win the season, I think it's because he did okay in challenges and he didn't piss people off. And sometimes that's all you need to do to win $1 million. So yeah, so that's what I think about Ryan.
I think that he's not a quit. I don't think he's a quitter. I think he will not quit no matter what. And one of the reasons why I say that is because he was born 3 months. He was my next pick. He was born 3 months early with mild cerebral palsy. Mm-hmm. And doctors said I would never walk, but after 4 years of therapy, I was finally able to. So this guy's he's strong-willed, and his smile says it all. I mean, it's gonna be heartbreak if and when he does get voted out and doesn't make it to the final. It will be heartbreaking, I think, for even the people voting him out. He says, I'm a triple threat. I can socialize easily. I'm naturally strong and I'm quick in puzzles. I have great forming bonds and can influence others with a silver tongue. I have a great resolve to do what needs to be done to earn the $1 million. And I completely 100% believe it. So there you go.
He gives me, from picture only, he gives me a lot of Nasir vibes.
Okay.
Like he's very likable, but I could also see him being kind of on the outside of everything. Yeah, so we'll see.
Okay, Rory's take. Pro, all of him. Con, yes. His name is Ryan.
What's
wrong with Ryan, Rory?
Right. So
what's your fourth pick, Tyler?
My next pick is going to be the winner. Like she reminds me of the winner of Survivor Heroes versus Healers versus Hustlers, Chrissy Hoffbeck, who went on to be the second 2-time winner by winning Winners at War, Chrissy Hoffbeck. No, but for real though, like she just gives me like Chrissy vibes times like a million. And I think that she's going to be a little
is this Lindsay?
Softer. Yeah, Lindsay, sorry. She gives me like a softer edge than Chrissy. You know how like Chrissy like kind of graded people the wrong way sometimes. Like she was really smart, really bright, but like she just couldn't get people to vote for her in the end. I think that Lindsay has a little more like maybe I'll say like Lisa Vulchel, but like she didn't win either. But like
just Winchell. Like, it's Winchell. I know
Vulchel.
how to pronounce that. She was on Facts of Life. Just saying.
I'm pretty sure it's Vulchel.
It's Winchell.
Anyway, I'm gonna look this up after I'm done talking.
Oh, it's happening.
It is spelled Welchel, but I think it might be pronounced Wenchel, but I'm not sure.
How does that make any sense?
I don't know.
So we're both right. But no, I don't know. I get good vibes from her. I don't think that she's not like she's like one of the older people, and I always say old in like quotation marks because she's not old. And this is when Allison starts rolling her eyes. But like she doesn't have like cranky old lady energy, you know. Like she seems like just like a nice like nurturing mom, but in like a good way. I don't know. What do you guys think?
So I think that we are kind of past we haven't had a lot of like women in their 40s go home first in like almost 10 seasons. But we still have this idea that like that's what happens to every woman who's over the age of 35. And I just don't think that's the case anymore. So I think it's a safe bet. She gives me a lot of like I can tell that there's like she's got some life experience, wisdom. I can tell that she's got a softness and that kind of aura about her. I don't see her being incredibly dynamic just based off of photo alone. She's from Downingtown, Pennsylvania, which is a pretty wealthy area outside of Philadelphia. Like that's a there's some wealth there. So I'm going to be interested to see. Fun fact. The only reason why I know this is that one of the schools, I'm trying to remember if it was Downingtown East or Downingtown West, but when I went to visit them as an admissions counselor, they had like a Starbucks in this school, like in the public school. My school barely had a gym. You know what I mean? Like this,
right.
They had a Starbucks.
Ours didn't have air conditioning.
Like it was, yeah, mine didn't have air conditioning. Hell no. And we went to school until June 20th. You know what I mean? But anyway, so I have a sense that there's a level of my one hesitation, and this is purely me being 100% prejudicial off of the idea of people I know from that area. I wonder how she will do with people who are not like her. That is the only thing I wonder about her. We could ask that question for pretty much anybody, right? But I don't know. Maybe she's not one of the people who's of wealth or whatever, but gonna have to assume that she's from a pretty homogenous area. So
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. And for some reason, I don't get that vibe from her specifically.
Good.
But like that is very much so a concern of mine. That's why she's like my fourth pick here, not my first or anything. Allison, what do you think?
I mean, she's a pediatric nurse and she works in the medical field. You know, I have much respect to people who do that, especially during COVID. I cannot commend her enough for that. But I mean, I am bored. I don't even want to read any of her stuff. I'm falling asleep. And then you get to, why do you believe you can be the sole survivor? I have 20 years worth of reasons why I'm going to be the sole survivor. What? Huh? Well, you think watching the show makes you a winner? I've said this time blue in the face. I've said it about Big Brother. We can sit here and analyze this till we are blue in the face until you set foot in that house or you're in that on the island, whatever. You don't know what you're really going to do until you get there. And I'm saying that based off of what people who have been in the house have said to me or in interviews. It is a whole different ball game. So if you're going in there thinking, well, I've watched 20 years, but make sure you announce that the minute you get on the island, because people love to hear, I've been watching this show since the beginning and I know everything. You know, that's all I got.
All right. So Allison, I just want to just so Dolores said, are we judging on the demographic? Like it's all of course like within the scope of the game. So like Lindsay's like lifestyle and how she grew up and her financial situation is probably a lot different than a majority of the people on this island. So there are just like cultural and economic maybe not get people connecting with her like right off the bat. Does that make any sense? Like I don't mean that in like a judging way or anything like that. It's just like
no,
within,
and I'm and let me also say this too, that like I am fully aware that I am judging where she lives currently. I don't know if she grew up there. She might have moved there after working her butt off to be a pediatric, nurse, right? Like, I don't know these things, right? I'm literally going off of a photo and what I'm seeing from the towns.
Yeah.
So I have no sense of who she is at all. What I'm basically saying is I have been to that town and there's a certain level of people. It's very homogenous.
Yeah.
There's an air. It would be, I think it's just something that I'm looking forward to seeing. I don't know her at all. She could be nothing like that. Or she could be exactly like that. And it'll be interesting to watch how she navigates the game. That's
and Dolores, you're totally fine for asking that
question.
Oh,
no, of course. It's fair to.
Listen, absolutely. I'm just telling you from what I can tell, Lindsay probably grew up a lot different from Carla. Okay? Let's just call it what it is.
Exactly.
And I'm thinking those two might be a final 2 deal.
I would.
I
love
think it
that.
would be really
I would
great.
love to
I would
see it.
love that.
That'd be
You know what
cool.
I'm
Are they
saying?
on the same tribe?
And I don't know. I don't even know. the
Lindsay's
tribe.
on
I'll
Coco,
check.
and Carla is on Coco as well. Ah,
Yes.
So they're gonna work together. I'm telling you. It's
I want
happening.
her
It's
to
going down.
give Lindsay like a tattoo on her bicep like by the end of 2016.
Hell yeah.
All right, Allison, go ahead and give us your 4th pick.
Okay, where am I at? I'm at number 1, 2, 3. I'm at
We
number
love you,
4.
Dolores. I
Yes,
just
we
wanted
love
to
you,
clarify.
Dolores. Where's my number
God, my neck
4?
hurts. Ugh.
Who took my number 4? 3. Hold on, I'm having a minute. Did I number these right? I don't know my next one is. Damn it. This is what I get for handwriting shit. Okay. Okay, I'm torn. I don't know which one of these 2 I want to do. Okay, am I going again after this, or is it?
I do 2
No.
picks, and then you will go after I do 2 picks. Allison, do you want to make an alliance? I will not pick whoever your second person is. Guaranteed. I'm not like that's not a joke. I'm not gonna.
But you don't know who it is.
I know if you tell me who it is, I won't pick them. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. No, okay.
All's fair in love and drafts. So
Shit.
do what you guys got to do.
I'm just gonna do it. Hold on, let me
Okay.
find them. I'm gonna take a chance.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna go with Mike Gabler.
I knew
doing
you
it.
would pick him too.
Yes, Mike.
I'm going with Mike.
I wanted to let you know you were safe with this one for me.
Okay, I had a feeling. That's why I went with it. I had a feeling no one was grabbing this one.
Then you should
Yeah,
have
you're good.
waited.
No, damn it. I'm not. Look, this is why no one's picking me to play Survivor or Big Brother or anything else. Pet peeves and fairness and men in skinny jeans. I hate skinny jeans on men. My son wears them, and it really just burns me alive. Don't. Just stop. Because
This
there are a
hat that
lot
he's wearing burns me alive too.
but then again, I'm thinking, you hate men who wear skinny jeans. You're wearing the tightest pair of Speedos. Every man we've come across in this has not had on a pair of pants this tight.
Let's
Okay.
remember that they don't get to choose these outfits, though.
They
That's
don't?
true.
No.
That's probably why they put them in tight pants.
They were like, what was it?
What was it
Skinny
about
jeans?
skinny jeans? What?
Put these on.
He's intense. He's energetic. He's fun. He could be annoying. I love this. Why do you believe you can be the sole survivor? His answer's yes with 2 exclamation points. That's the answer.
I love that. That reminds
I
me
love
of I was watching one of my favorite Pokemon YouTubers, and they were reading something that a person had filled out for their English class about them. They said, how did this person become successful? They became very successful. What's the answer? This person
Well,
came
the
and was like,
answer- yeah, I mean, his bio is so damn short. It's to the point, and I like that. He's a heart valve specialist, and I'm looking at this guy, and I don't see heart valve specialist. Okay, I see a
Mhm.
guy that works. He's a waiter on the weekends. Okay, at my favorite restaurant or something. I don't know, but he doesn't scream heart valve specialist or anything like that. I just thought that was kind of cool. I guess he just is to the point.
yeah.
What is something we would never know from looking at you? As social as I am, I enjoy time alone. I am also more sensitive than most think. Okay. And he thinks he's like Sandra. She's always in the right place at the right time. She had a phenomenal strategy and gameplay. And if that's who he had to pick, that's who he would pick. But his pet peeve is he hates skinny jeans. And why do you believe you can be the sole survivor? His answer was just yes.
I actually think that from what the aura, the energy that I get from him, I I don't see him going particularly far, but I don't see him necessarily as like a first boot. I think that he's going to be someone that's pretty social and obviously a hard worker. That hat just tells me he's ready for the outdoors. I don't know if he's used it before. It looks pretty new. But we'll
Yeah.
see. Again, we can't judge off of the clothing. I honestly think that whereas older women have been sticking around, older men have been going out very quickly, especially the past 2 seasons. So that's what makes me really nervous for him. I could see him going out like third.
I think
And even if he's the exception, like Mike last season being in the final 3, I don't think he'll be able to seal the deal with the final jury.
No, and I think that it's like Kylan said in the chat, he's used to working under pressure. That is not an easy job. Okay. Yeah. He's not folding skinny jeans at the Gap and being a waiter on the weekend. Okay. He is a heart valve specialist. So there's pressure under that. This may be a vacation for him compared to what his everyday life is like. So I'm just hoping that he doesn't, because I haven't watched any videos and I don't know. I just hope that he doesn't come off as annoying as F, and just, I hope he's a team player and he can work with people and just really, but seeing that he's into hunting and fishing, hopefully he can utilize this as a good way to stay on as long as he can to provide for his tribe. So
I could
like a Rupert.
Yeah.
All right, Beth, go ahead and give us your 4th pick.
So I'm gonna go for vibes and position, and I'm gonna go with Neka Ajiri. She seems amazing. First of all, pharmacy. I used to work at a pharmacy school. I know how hard that degree is. That is not easy. You literally, in like your 2nd year of school, when most people would just start thinking about what they want to major in, like you're taking organic chem, calculus, statistics, physics, microbiology, and something else. Like, it's ridiculous. That is a hard program. And then you do 4 years of a professional school program. So you essentially get your bachelor's degree in 2 years, but you don't actually get a bachelor's degree if you do like the 6-7 year program. It's crazy. So I know that that's a level of intensity that I'm sure she could kind of rely on. She also just has, like, I think the most beautiful smile. She just is somebody that I think would be really captivating. And I really think that if I were on her tribe, I would want to work with her. So I see her being somebody that is just going to be very social. But I also see that being potentially, if that's the case, that could come back to bite her. I could see her going in like the early jury area if that's the case, because I mean, obviously Marianne had an amazing smile, but she also was like kind of like kooky and had her own like little, idiosyncrasies going on. And she kind of was able to play the lamb for a while until she got to play the lion. I don't know if we'll ever see the lamb portion from Neka. I think we're going to see a lion the entire time. So I don't know. I think it'll be very interesting. But also she's just gorgeous. I'm just bringing her on my team mostly because she's obviously very intelligent and obviously very beautiful.
I like that Allison has all men so far and Beth has all women so far.
and we have a mix. And you have a mix.
Yeah. But no, I
didn't even notice that. Okay.
I was all for her until she said that she can't lie. Like, she's like, I cannot do it. I am not a liar. And I'm like, oof, that really concerns me to hear. So I wish her well. Maybe she'll be the first Survivor winner who hasn't lied, but to that I say good luck with that. I don't know. I just think she's gonna play a pretty like simple version of, how like good people see Survivor as like a survival game rather than like like social strategy. That's how I think she's going to view Survivor, and I'm not crazy about those type of players. You know what I mean?
point out, Rory, my team is Team Peen the remix. Pretty much. Yes, it's true. Too bad Jason DeLuca isn't playing.
All right, Beth, go ahead and give us your 5th pick.
My 5th pick, I'm going to go with Sammy. So I'm breaking the all women. Sorry about that. So I was torn between Sammy and another guy for my next pick, but I am going to go for the youngin here. I think young men on this show tend to do really well, especially when they are clearly the youngest on the cast. You know, you think of people like Devin or who's the guy? Oh my God, from 41, Xander. Xander. There's the Michael. Like all these people tend to do pretty well. I could see him. I could just see him doing well. He has a nice smile. He looks a lot older than he. Like he looks like to me like he's 25. He doesn't.
I'm gonna need this is like McLovin reversed. You know what I'm saying?
He's got to be 6 years older than he's saying he is.
Yeah. Okay, McLovin. Wink, wink.
But I could see him doing really well. I don't really know what a pet cremator like brings to the game in terms of skill, but maybe there's a hardened sense of being able to like keep your emotions at bay when you're making decisions. Yeah. I don't know. But I think I'm really going off of, I just think, first of all, I felt like I needed a man on my team. And second of all, I felt like he was, of the men left, I think he's got a good vibe to him.
What you said about him, like not being very empathetic in terms of decision making because of his career being a pet cremator, I have written down that same thing. My only concern with that is I think that paired with him being so young, like very inexperienced with life, I think if he played Survivor like 10 years from now, I think he would do a lot better. But in the meantime, like I think
might too.
I just think he's going to be a very like high energy, like almost like Zach Rance from Big Brother. Like that's kind of like the vibe that
All right, I want to choose again then. God, I hate Zach.
So that's my thoughts on Sammy.
Beth, this is a train wreck. I'm sorry. I just can't. Can we just, first of all, a pet cremator, I have some experience with because my husband and I had a cat cremated 4 years ago, and we have his ashes. Max, God rest your soul, the original Tabby. That's interesting. That's an interesting job. But I would never in my life. This is another dating gosh damn profile. Listen, never. Okay, I know you're 19, so I'm going to give you a little bit of kitten gloves here, Sammy. First of all, 3 words you never want to use. Well, at least 2 out of 3 that you never want to use to describe yourself. It's unpredictable and indecisive. Hello.
Especially in this game.
Pet peeves. Being woke up before noon on the weekends. That's such a 19-year-old thing to say. And your biggest accomplishment so far in life is your Eagle Scout badge. Your Eagle Scout.
That's incredible.
What did he get it last year?
Probably.
I'm just saying I'm not shitting and poo-pooing on the Eagle Scout badge because my husband was a Boy Scout and my son tried to be, but he's too much of a quitter like his mom. But listen, I got kicked out of the Girl Scouts for being a little snot. Okay, and I was like,
I will
6.
say though, the Eagle Scout thing, you normally get that when you're 17, 18. So he probably did just get it in the past couple of years. Again, we're talking about a 19-year-old.
I know he's 19. That's why I'm saying like he's a child.
But he'll be good at the survival part then.
Hey, if he's in fire making a Final Four, that's $1 million Eagle
Is it fair since he just got out of the Boy Scouts? Here's another thing. That's what it is, the Boy Scouts. Am I wrong? Why do you just let me read this whole thing? And I'm just gonna leave it alone because this is amazeballs. This is better than the 1-word answer that I got from Gabler. Why do you believe you can be the sole survivor? Because I do not allow myself to know what is going on with those around me. I'm too conversationally and emotionally experienced with people to be unaware of my standings in the game at all times. And I'm too determined and hungry to get comfortable. Everybody that I meet grows a heart on their sleeve after I speak with them for 20 minutes. And my competitors on the island will be no different.
Yeah. This might be a train wreck of a pick.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
It's slim pickings at this point.
You're
Yeah.
19. Your balls just dropped when you got your Eagle Scout badge. Calm down. Calm down. Dip the tip
All right.
in and then come talk to me. Okay? McLovin.
All right. So, Allison, go ahead and give us your fifth.
Oh, is it my turn? Okay.
Yes.
I'm sorry. And I didn't mean to poop all over him. I mean, I'm sure he's a great guy. Whatever. Okay, nobody.
I can't wait for him to win this game and we can go back and just
And
like,
we could go back and watch this. Hey, listen, a lot of people give me shit about Turner from Big Brother 24, who
I was
ironically
the only one that said good things about Turner.
whose hairstyle has ironically turned up again in Survivor, but that's neither here nor there. My next pick is Dwight Moore. Where's this little puppy at? Where are you at, Dwighty? There you are, Dwight. Okay. He's my next pick.
he was the one I was trying to choose between him and Sammy.
First of all, the guy lives in Collierville, Tennessee. Okay. You know, that's like 20 minutes from me.
Nope. Didn't know that, but now I do.
He moved from Palo Alto, California to Collierville. That's where Memphis is from Big Brother 10. Let's see here. Pet peeves. Someone making a reference to The Office within 2 seconds of learning my name.
That is.
I'm sure that's a thing. But it's Dwight from The Office. Though.
Oh, I did have a moment where I was trying to figure out, I was like, what is his name? Michael Scott? And I forgot his name was literally Dwight.
It's Dwight. Like, what 22-year-old is named Dwight? Bless his heart.
Oh,
Just go by more. Okay. He doesn't like arrogance and refusal to use. Okay. Anybody who knows me knows this is a big one. Refusal to use your turn signals while driving.
Oh,
It's a blinker. You better effing use it if I'm behind you, because I've got this. I'm like, oh, look at this. Another one that's got one of those blinkers that's so fast you can't see it. I mean, how did I know you were going to turn? I have no
Allison,
idea. You
Do
could kill
not
someone.
drive in New England
I can't drive it.
or on Long Island.
I'm terrible. I have the worst drive. I become another person when I'm in my car and I'm driving. I'm demonically possessed. I'm honking, get out of the way, move, get in the right lane. You know, I need to understand. First of all, I live in Memphis and I need to knock it off. And two, my car is not bulletproof. Allison, you're in a 2016 Ford Fiesta. You're not in a Bronco made of steel.
Oh my
Calm
God.
down.
Okay. New goal. We're going to rent a car for a day just to have Allison try to drive around New York City. It's going to be so much fun.
That's where my son claims he learned to cuss. Okay. Was sitting in the back seat
Fair enough.
while driving with me. Okay.
Yeah, I think that Dwight has warm energy. He just kind of seems kind of blah to me, other than like he doesn't seem dynamic. That's why I ended up going for Sammy, because I just felt like he was more dynamic, like the aura I was getting out of him.
I like that his hobbies are skiing, video games, and I like the tutoring / teaching. I think the tutoring / teaching kind of got me a little bit, because that's you gotta be patient for that.
Mm-hmm.
I had to.
Yeah.
I was tutored a lot.
Well,
I
that's
know
if you're
this.
good.
I know this is hard to believe, but Allison had a lot of tutoring in school. Okay, I know that's a hard one to swallow and believe, but my parents spent a lot of money on tutors because I just didn't get it. Okay, and these people were amazing. I put tutors up there with freaking medical workers. Okay, because I mean, I don't know. It just takes a certain kind of patience, and you got to keep your mouth shut. And he's what is this? He said, most accomplishment he's proud of. In my sophomore year of high school, I decided to take the ACT just to see how I would do on it. And he ended up getting a perfect score. That was great for college admissions, and it garnered me attention locally and nationally. Due to that, I I've had parents in Memphis tell me that they've used me as an example for their kids. I'm going to tell you, Memphis is aching right now, and we're in a bad spot. We got a lot of stuff going on here right now. It is terrible. Racism is still, it's terrible. It's god awful here, and I'm just being real with you. And someone like this guy needs to be an example, needs to be on the news, needs to be on Survivor. So children who think that they don't have a chance in hell or an option to do something better with their life can look at a guy like this. I don't care if he wins or not. Just doing what he does is amazing, and doing it here of all places is not an easy job. You have children having children, rinse repeat in this city. And they have no real foundation to build from. And it's just, there's no morals, there's nothing. And that's why we have people just terrorizing the city, shooting up people, acting silly because they don't know anything else. And like I said, there needs to be more Dwight Moores from Memphis, from this part of town, who are actually going and doing something and being a good example, because you don't have to do all the shitty things that your friends and family are doing. You can stop the cycle just by turning on Survivor and watching someone like this guy. So that's what I got to say about.
And my only comment I really had about him, you guys covered it all, but he talks so fast, like the fastest talker I've ever seen. Like I listen to all my podcasts at like 1.5 speed, and like when I was playing his interview, I was like, wait, did I like speed up my podcast or something, like listening to this? You have to see for yourself. I guarantee you it's going to be a segment on the show is how fast this man talks. But all right, well, I'm going to go ahead and go to my next pick. So I'm going to pick Mariah for my my next pick. I love what she says about, well, first of all, she's from Philly. Again, lots of Philly people in this season. So she's like in middle school. I don't know. Somebody in casting is like hitting up Philly, I guess.
You have all three of the Philly people on your team too.
She's a middle school theater teacher, which
her.
is a top job to get that age to express themselves rather than like be judgy or like introverted. You know what I mean? Like that is just a really powerful, life-changing thing. She says that she's going to have a really strong social game, which I think is what she needs to do. She like thrives on color. Like she talked in her interview about how much like color.
Really,
like,
I don't see that.
And she says that she wants to like punch people with joy. So I just get like really good energy from her. Like maybe some like Marianne energy, just in terms of like contagious like positivity, and just like very high energy. So yeah, that's my next pick. What do you guys think about Mariah?
She wants to open a selfie museum, and I can let me tell you, she was my next pick, and I hate you. Opening my selfie museum, honey, I have selfies that date back to 2005. Girl, please give me a spot in the selfie museum, because trust me, her pet peeves, I like negative Nancy's and Debbie Downers and bullies. I love it. I just love shopping and creating content. I mean, just shopping. I just love it. I think she's great. I'm very curious to see how people take to her, you know, because she's flavorful. Not a lot of people are used to this kind of flavor. So I'm interested to see how this is going to work. So,
I think about the people in the past couple of seasons who have been really, bright and colorful and like beat to the, march to the beat of their own drum. And I think that people have been pretty good. So I could see her going pretty far, but I could also unfortunately see her go really early too for it. So I don't know.
Totally.
She already has it. Oh, it's called Rainbow Room. Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up. I love it.
All right. So for my last pick, rounding out my draft, so we only have Cassidy, Noel, and Gio left. I think I'm gonna go with Gio for my last pick. I don't think he's going to make it far, to be frank. I think that he is going to be the one that goes looking for an idol, like right off the beach, and be targeted for it. He's going to really overplay. He says that he wants to play the game so hard until people tells him you're playing it too hard. So if he needs people to like check him like that, I think he thinks that he'll be like a Tony, but it's just not going to happen. CBS like posted like the first like 5 minutes of the first like 4 challenge, and he's really physically struggling there too. So I don't think he's going to be a challenge beast either.
Ooh.
But I don't know. Maybe we could see like a David Wright situation in an ideal world. I just I don't see it for him, but I like the wild card aspect of him compared to the last 2 people left. So that's why I'm going with Gio. What do you guys think about Gio?
I think he and Cody are going to bond over both living in Hawaii, and that's going to be a segment.
It would be interesting. That would be such a bold move for CBS to do, given how everybody in Hawaii right now is telling people, please don't come here.
Yeah.
That would not be a smart move
True.
for CBS to do that, to make it a huge segment. No, if it's like in passing, oh my God, I'm from Hawaii too. Like that's different. He gives me smarmy vibes. Like I'm going to be honest, like purely based off of photos alone, he was who I would think is a first pick.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Gio.
He really loves himself.
Yeah.
You can tell, but you can also tell that he's also incredibly insecure. Like what I see in this photo is someone putting up a huge front, but is clearly not happy with himself. I don't know. Am I just like really reading into these photos? Like I guess I am, but
no, he has like sneaky like rat energy. You know what I mean? Like,
but not like someone who knows that they're the rat. Like that's my point.
Right. Yeah. Not self-aware at all either.
Right. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, he talks about himself in third person in the Why Will You Win, the third
No,
survivor. I mean,
that's
the world will see that
for
Gio Bustamante has arrived and I will win. I think we're going to get a crying segment. I think he's going to lose it. I feel like this guy's going to crack and cry. He's going to crumble. He's going to try to flip something. He's going to try to do something. He could go home with the idol in his pocket. I don't know, but he's going to try something and it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Allison, go ahead and give us your last pick, and whoever you pick, Beth will get the last person.
Okay, I have 2 people to pick from. One I don't want based on hair, but I don't know if I have the heart to give them to Beth or not.
That sounded like Beth's such a bad place to be. I don't know if I have the heart to give.
Beth, this is a hard one because
you take whatever one you think is a better pick. I will not
I like
be
you more than I like Tyler, because I would totally leave Tyler with Cassidy before I would Noelle.
It is your team. You take whomever.
Because I didn't really read anything about. Hold on a second.
Yeah, take your second. Take a second.
Here we go with the tenacious to describe yourself. I don't like that word.
I love that word.
Tenacious.
I just like that you have her head cut off.
What? What did I do?
Tyler already threw Noelle on your team.
No.
I know Allison's going to pick Noelle.
Yeah, I got to go with Noelle because I can't with Cassidy. It's like Turner from Big Brother 24. It's just too much. It's not happening. It's not happening. Okay. Well, I don't know much about Noelle. I didn't read because I don't know. She's a Paralympian. Oh, okay. I didn't realize she didn't have a leg. I just literally just noticed that.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much I didn't look at her. Okay.
It happened in a moped accident. Yeah. She's very like physically fit. Like she won like a track and field record in the Tokyo Paralympics.
Okay,
That's incredible.
this like literally just happened too, like in
Yeah.
like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Thank God I picked her. Okay. Sorry, Beth.
No, it was a very clear choice. That for me, it would have been Noelle over Cassidy, but I was
Yeah.
just waiting to see.
Well, she's determined. I mean, what can I say? She's been in the Olympics. I mean, she doesn't feel sorry for herself. She's selfless. She's a caring person. Why does everyone want to compare themselves to Kelly Wentworth? I've never been a huge Kelly Wentworth fan. This is the fourth person I've
Those
seen.
are fighting words here.
I don't know. They didn't think she was a big threat. There's not much I can say because I didn't.
I think she's gonna have a tough personality. Like, wasn't there an amputee on Survivor Nicaragua? And I think she was a pre-jury boot because she just like wasn't getting along on like a friends level with anybody. I don't know.
I want to say something, but I feel like I'm going to get persecuted for it, and I'm going to get dragged for it, and I want to be corrected if I am.
Okay.
Is this fair? Because, okay, and this is what I'm saying. You know how towards the end of the game that they have to stand on stuff and their feet are wobbling and they can't stand anymore? I mean, she's only going to have pain in one foot while everyone else has pain in both.
She's also going to have to balance on things when people have 2 feet and she only has 1.
Right.
I mean,
What about swimming? Is she going to take that off? How is she? I mean, can she swim?
I will say this though. There are competitions that are clearly built for some people that are not built for others. There are competitions that favor bigger men. There are competitions that favor smaller women. I just see this as another one of those situations.
And she's accepting that challenge.
She's accepting the challenge, but at the same time, like, I don't see this as, if she has gotten cast, it means that she and her doctors and the casting production company people all are in on this. They're not going to like be like, and by the way, we're doing this competition, you have to sit out. Like they won't do that because it's not an injury that occurred on the show. So I think that's a fair question to ask that. I just think of it as like, some of those challenges, like the one where you like hold your arm up for like ever, are always won by like the Parvati's, right? They're like those like smaller women or whatever. The weight ones that they haven't done those in a while were always won by the big strong guys. Like there's just going to be competitions that lend themselves to one group over another, and I think what we've seen from the past 2 seasons is like some of those are even being torn down a little bit. And so I'm looking forward to seeing how she does. I'm really excited to see a Paralympian on.
I am too. And listen, and I'm not trying to I'm just saying
no, I know that
things where I feel like, what if she's at a disadvantage? Is that fair to her? And I just want to make sure, and I'm sure they've done, look, that's just the mom and me.
No, of course.
Like, well, what if she can't, what are they going to do? Or what if other people can't and she can't, it's just me being a mom. That's all that is.
I completely think that that's fair. And I think that that's absolutely something many of us are going to be thinking. I mean, I think it was my first thought and then I had to think about it and now here I am. But I think that, we say the same thing. Is it fair for a bigger person who maybe can't run as fast as the track and field person to be running and doing the same things? But if you sign on for the show, you sign on to do the challenges of it.
Well said.
Bam. So let's also talk a little bit about Cassidy. And so I don't really know anything about her, obviously, but I think that she just kind of gives me like pretty girl vibes. I can't really tell what kind of personality she has from a photo. I'm not sure how she'll do. So I really don't have much to say on her.
She gives me Caitlin Herman energy. Like she talks about like manifestation and like energy and like she's like a sun child, like that type of thing. So
the hair makes sense now.
Yeah. I think she could try to sell you some Scentsy or some essential oils or something like that. But if for anything else, I don't think she's going to be very good. So I think she's 16th on this draft list, and that checks out. Allison, what do you think?
Well, she thinks she's going to be a low-key assassin like Kim Spradlin. Okay. We'll see. I don't know. People won't see you coming. And she goes, people won't see me coming. And that's what I'm counting on. I don't really have anything to say.
That's all right.
All
right, guys. So that's our draft here. So I'm gonna post this on Twitter just to start off the season. And I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing the screen now. And so this is our Patron draft bracket here.
Yes. So we have Liza Munoz, Matthew Henning, and of course Stefan Van Zandt. Who we're calling him.
Yes.
So
we'll see who.
These are the drafts. Now, Stefan is in the chat, and I don't think he's seen this yet because I did not tell anybody. So I wanted to wait until after the show. But Stefan, if you're still here, let us know what you think of your team. I think that all the teams are pretty well balanced from what we've talked about. So I'm really excited to see how this. I love how they're very different than the 3 teams we just came up with too.
Yeah, definitely. But like Liza's last pick is my first pick.
Right? Like our collective last pick is in the middle.
Yeah.
Mariah, who was one of the
like
last picks,
it
was Matthew's first pick, So there's
yeah. So we'll see how it goes. But so we'll be back tomorrow after the premiere of Survivor 43 to talk about all things the premiere and everything. We're not going to be live on Thursday after Big Brother's eviction because there's nothing to talk about, and the finale is on Sunday. So we're just going to save it all for Sunday. I think we're going to do a live watch party with our patrons for the finale. So if you are a patron, look out for all of that info. Allison and I are also going to talk about the challenge documentary next Thursday. So we'll talk about what all they decided to share, what all they decided not to talk about. Between Allison and I, we have so much like challenge history knowledge that like that'll be a really fun thing to talk about. So I'm excited.
Yeah, and if you want to watch that, it comes on MTV. There's 4 episodes. It starts Wednesday night at 9/8 Central. The first 2 episodes of the challenge, the Untold Story, episodes 1 and 2, and then next Wednesday they will air the next 2 at 8/9 Central, and then Thursday we'll cover all 4 of those.
Yes. And also, they just announced that The Mole is coming back on Netflix on October 7th for a 3-week event. So I would love to cover that. I don't know if we have the bandwidth to do that, but that would be so fun to recap live and have us like guessing who it is, like totally unspoiled. So I don't know.
We'll have to talk about that off camera because this might be an opportunity for Hot Mess Moments and My Weekly Meltdown to come together.
That's true. Dylan is a big fan. I saw that on Twitter.
His favorite show, and I've never seen it, and so he would love.
It's good
to cover that. So
yes,
maybe...
okay, cool. I'm so down for that.
Oh yeah,
perfect. All right. Well, everybody have a good rest of your night. Tell us who has the best draft team in the comments. All that fun stuff. But we'll see you guys
tomorrow night.
Tomorrow.
Yep. All right. Have a good night, everybody. Take care.